Hey, Keith Myers here, Tusky Air Squadron. Just making a bunch of different videos about things that are going on in Pennsylvania regarding weather modification. So I like to call them chemtrails. Let's just embrace what everybody else calls them, because I'm going to prove them here for you today. So this one's a little bit more condensed, so it's easier to share. So here we go. A little bit about our organization. We are shooting a new documentary. If you'd like to help us get some new monitoring gear, you can visit the site below. Here today, proven beyond a reasonable doubt that chemtrails do exist across Pennsylvania, and how the PA Department of Environmental Protection stole my research and deleted it. So this is why we're dropping all this data dump. You can get the links below for a few different platforms to share, peruse, download, put them on your own site, do whatever you want with them. They're free. I spent thousands of hours getting all this stuff together, and it's just for you. So please use it. You guys are researchers in a global project that could open up new avenues in other places. So today I'm specifically talking about Hershey New Garden event, and particularly in Hershey because that's kind of where I grew up. Now, on this particular day, 11/14/2023, we have here is solar radiation numbers. This is a control before the event actually started. So let's look at these numbers here. Everything looks normal. Solar radiation occurs during the day when the sun is shining. Max that it can really reach in Pennsylvania is probably 1100 or 1200. So let's see what the pictures look like going on what I observed. We got all kinds of stratospheric aerosol injections going on over the course of the 15th, the 16th, and 17th. Now, the 15th, this is what those pictures correlated to in data. These numbers here, 12,000 plus watts per meter squared, is being measured. There should be nothing in here. This is all dark time of the day and daytime. And these numbers are insanely high. So let's look at the 16th, the next day of the event. Now, still got aerosol injections going on. These are all taken around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. New Garden is down closer to Kennett Square in Philly, and Hershey is closer to Harrisburg. So what we got going on here is Hershey is still emitting this 12,000 plus watts per meter squared, and it ends right here around 10 a.m. Now, what we have, though, is New Garden kicks on here around 5 p.m. and is sustaining that radiation, that electromagnetic radiation that's being picked up on pyranometers. So here we go again at the ambient air website. You can find this data as well for yourself, and also in the document dump. So November 17th, still spraying heavily in the Hershey area. Now we see that Hershey is completely off. Now everything else is zeroed out, but we have New Garden that is still emitting or making this 12,000 plus watts per meter squared, which should not be there, especially at night. So there's other missing data here that's found. Now, I printed this out. This is actually one of the first documents I sent to DEP back on December 8th of 2023. The reason being is I was concerned about these numbers, and I thought it might be a terrorist attack or something like that. So let's look at the day before, which we saw before, which is a control. We have watts per meter squared here. Everything looks kind of normal. We do have some missing data here in the ozones. And here we go. The next day, the 15th, we see this 12,000 plus anomaly come in here, and it's really strong and somewhat consistent. So these numbers here, the resultant direction and the outdoor temperature are pegging out because of the large amounts of electromagnetic radiation that are being emitted. And so they're just staying the same. This outside temperature should not be existing in this time of year. So we go to 16. All of this data is missing as well. And we still have the high watts per meter squared at Hershey. So let's go to the 17th. Now this number right here is a 178 or 176, and that's particulates. The solar radiation looks pretty standard, but in New Garden, they're still producing this. And also these numbers were deleted as well. So who knows how high these were. I'll show you right here, 721. All right, now on the 178 was on the day of the 17th, which I showed you before. Now 721 relates to another date from Allentown, which I'll show you later, but it was still sprayed in Hershey as well. Here we have 279. That also correlates with the 19th as well. Now we look at the 15th here in Hershey, and all these numbers have been deleted around the same time that I have the photographs of them spraying aerosol particulates. Sulfur dioxide is measured in York at one of their facilities, and it's missing as well around the same time. Sulfur dioxide is an indicator of spraying sulfuric acid, which is in the mix of things that they're spraying. So after I visited the DEP, this is what happened. I gave them all the dates and times of certain anomalies, and they turned around and they deleted them. This is before I printed this out over the weekend, early on, and this is after I told them it's gone. All right, same thing here with these solar radiation numbers. We see Hershey and New Garden here, and we see them both deleted on this page. All right, now same thing for the 17th. Look, we got New Garden is the only one that's emitting that day, and now it's gone down here. All these other numbers are the same, 11, 17, 23. So what made them decide to delete this information after I pointed it out? That's the question. Now, this is the original doc that I sent them that shows monthly for Hershey, and you have basically about a full day of high radiation going on here. And right here, it's all gone. So they basically stole my research. And this is why I'm dropping all these documents that I've screenshot and printed out and highlighted. There's different studies, there's longer videos. This is one to just whet your appetite to dig a little bit further. All these parameters are included in all kinds of different files that you can look through, different places, different times, solar radiation, ozone, particulates. Now, you can go and get any kind of photo from a historic photo bank in your area and look up the data that's in my bank for all these different testing areas. From Allentown to Pittsburgh, everywhere in between, there's these data centers that are reporting this kind of thing. But we find out that this data, in fact, is being manipulated. Okay, so if you're solar radiation, ozone, sulfur dioxide, particulates, or you have things that are matching up at the same time, they indicate the deletion of information, and probably means you've been exposed to some kind of particulates. You don't have to be from Pennsylvania to use the data. It's happening everywhere, so just pass it along. I'm not sure about the high levels of radiation where they're coming from. Somebody knows for sure, and there's people that are, actually, participating in this. It's got to be a conspiracy because multiple, entities have to know what's going on to coordinate such things. Now, this is really disturbing from Hershey. This is March 1st. Now, in the morning, you got blue sky. They're starting to spray some particulates here at 10:33 in the morning. By 1 o'clock, okay, it's really overcast. You could barely see the sky, and the sun's, getting blotted out. Now, we jump to 5 p.m. Now, that's the sun right there. You can barely make it out. It's very, very faint. It took me a while to figure out that that's where it was. Because look, throughout the whole day, the whole atmosphere is just filled with particulates. And I'm going to prove it right here. So now they did delete the solar radiation numbers here, but that is from 3.1. These other numbers are indicative of that high watts per meter squared, as I showed before. Same thing here. Now, in the second, they deleted the whole day. The whole day of solar radiation is gone. But these markers here still indicate that that's happening. Now, Hershey on the 1st, okay, that's all been deleted, right? Now, Hershey on the 2nd, that whole day has been deleted. It's not even there. Harrisburg, Holbrook, Hershey should be right here. This whole row, okay, has been deleted. I can show you that right here on the monthly report, which I pulled on the 9th, right here. And so the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and into the 4th day, coming back on at 5 a.m. Now it's kind of like showing normal stuff. But for all this time, people were exposed to some kind of electromagnetic radiation. And here's the proof. Once again, all these numbers are pegged out, and you can see what's happening here. Now let's go to outdoor temperature. That also proves what's going on. They forgot to delete that. All these numbers right here show 40s, 50s, 60s. We number 100. It's interfering with what's going on. So on the 4th, finally, Hershey comes back online. But again, we have our little buddies here that show what's really happening here. Now, this was from 12/23 as well, and this was an evening that I was referenced earlier after I'd visited the day after I visited DEP. So look, we got these numbers going on here, and let's see. Now they're gone. 322 or 32. I pulled these back. That day I printed it. You can see again. It had to been pulled on the 12th because that hour is incomplete right there. But this shows that it kept going on for some hours into the hours of the morning. So we're all being exposed to high levels of unknown particulates, ozone, the radiation that's going along with it. Everybody's manipulating data, and it's non-consensual research. Who's flying these planes? Who's coordinating the particulates? Who's doing everything around the electromagnetic, radiation that's coinciding with all this stuff? And who's changing the data? Who's in charge of the programs if it isn't terrorism? I mean, do you think that these things are good for you if you're inhaling metallic particulates and then being exposed to electromagnetic radiation? I don't think that is overall something your doctor would recommend. Is conspiring. Who's doing it at the local, state, and levels to make this happen? Some people know, some people might not know, but we got to find out. And always coordinating, but why is the important question. And these are crimes against humanity, and they're being covered up by people that are taking your money in the form of a salary that goes through your taxes, and there's patterns of these things going across the state. People that are complicit in this, should be defunded, possibly jailed. Schools, if you're involved in this research, your accreditation should be gone. Anybody else that's complicit in this is guilty of treason, crimes against humanity, Nuremberg Code violations, everything else that is, constitutes bad people. I've gone to the National Guard, I've gone to the local congressman and the DEP, and other law enforcement agencies, and most of them don't really want to talk about it or tiptoed around it. They're working together in certain things. And there's a lot of funds out there that go into certain programs coming up from higher up that have been blacked out on budgets and things. So what can you do? Just start doing your own research, start taking pictures, send this to everybody you can all around the world. Get with your representatives, ask them if they voted in favor of this legislation. If you want to help us get some gear to finish our documentary and hold these people accountable. Again, nothing's going to change if we don't, do anything about it. And I don't know. I'm just here to try to, tell you guys what's going on in Pennsylvania. Whatever's happening in your neck of the woods might be different, because I'm not sure about the magnetic radiation. That's just weird. I figured I don't, find the particulates and things like that, but this is just beyond. And the more people that know, and the more people that we wake up, something's going to happen sooner than later. So I appreciate it very much for hanging out and watching this. There'll be some other short ones. Stuff gets pulled, go to my website, skiairsquadron.org. and we'll see you then. Thanks again.